Hi, my name is Chelsea, and I found an article published on Science Daily and in the Journal of Nutrition that found that a diet rich in luteolin reduces age-related inflammation in the brain and related memory deficits by directly inhibiting the release of inflammatory molecules in the brain. Luteolin is found in many plants, including carrots, peppers, celery, olive oil, peppermint, rosemary, and chamomile. The study was led by Rodney Johnson, a University of Illinois animal sciences professor who also directs the Division of Nutritional Sciences at the University of Illinois. The researchers focused on microglial cells, which are specialized immune cells that reside in the brain and the spinal cord. Infections stimulate the microglia to produce signaling molecules called cytokines, which produce a series of chemical changes in the brain. Some of these signaling molecules are inflammatory cytokines that induce sickness behavior. Inflammation in the brain also appears to be a key contributor to age-related memory problems. Johnson and his colleagues found that previously, during normal aging, microglial cells become dysregulated and begin producing excessive levels of these inflammatory cytokines. The research showed that microglial cells that were exposed to a bacterial toxin produced inflammatory cytokines that could kill neurons. But when the microglia were exposed to luteolin before they encountered the toxin, the neurons lived. Basically, the neurons survived because luteolin inhibited the production of neurotoxic inflammatory mediators. The study was done on adult mice who were 3 to 6 months old compared to aged mice who were 2 years old. The mice were fed a controlled diet or a luteolin supplemented diet for 4 weeks. The researchers then assessed their spatial memory and measured levels of inflammatory markers in the region of the brain that is important to memory and spatial awareness, called the hippocampus. Normally, aged mice have higher levels of inflammatory molecules in the hippocampus and are more impaired on memory tests than younger adult mice. However, aged mice on the luteolin supplemented diet did better on the learning and memory tasks than their peers, and the levels of inflammatory cytokines in their brains were more similar to the levels in younger mice. The theory is that dietary luteolin gets into the brain and inhibits or reduces activation of microglial cells and the inflammatory cytokines they produce. This anti-inflammatory effect is likely the mechanism which allows their working memory to be restored to what it was at an earlier age. Basically, this data and studies suggest that a healthier diet with more luteolin has the potential to reduce age-associated inflammation in the brain, which could result in better cognitive health.